Our first story today takes you to Nigeria, where there has been a resurgence of deadly terror attacks. Already a country battered by years of terrorism by armed groups, this new wave is making things worse. But the menace of terrorism is not just limited to Nigeria, but is spilling over to a larger region in Africa. Kidnappings, trafficking, arms smuggling and drugs. Africa today is slowly receding into a modern-day pandemonium. And here is our report on this crisis.
Nigeria is gripped with an unprecedented wave of terror attacks. The common people are scared, dreading a deadly bombing at any moment. On June 29, the city of Goza saw a brutal and deadly coordinated attack which targeted a wedding, the victim's subsequent funeral and a hospital. The incident left at least 30 people dead and more than 100 injured. A curfew has been imposed by the military.
I personally lost 3 of my friends instantly there at that first blast. Thereon, afterwards, some people now started for the funeral of one of the 3 that I lost. At the funeral ground, another one also blasted. Afterwards, as the DG Sema said, because I spoke with him personally, he said they were preparing a rescue mission at the General Hospital Goza when another one blasted instantly in the hospital. And there was another one around the hospital, and there's other one in Hausari, making 5, confirmed 5.
Nigerian President Bola Tinubu condemned these attacks, calling them desperate acts of terror. International organizations and agencies are raising alarms about the situation in Nigeria that have left a trail of destruction in the region. According to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, more than 8.3 million people in Nigeria, approximately 80% of whom are women and children, require urgent assistance. For more than a decade, civilians in Nigeria have faced multiple security threats and risk of atrocities as a result of attacks, kidnappings, and extortion by various non-state armed groups such as Islamic State in West Africa and Boko Haram. But the problem of terrorism is not just limited to Nigeria. It is branching out and plaguing the entire African continent. Countries like the Central African Republic, Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, Northern Nigeria, the Sahel, Somalia, and South Sudan are already rife with multiple conflicts aiding the growth of terrorist organizations. According to the Africa Terrorism Database, a total of 2,122 terrorist attacks were recorded from January 1, 2023 to September 30, 2023, resulting in the deaths of 12,092 people across the continent. Nigeria had the highest number of fatalities from terrorist attacks in Africa in 2021, with over 3,200 deaths, followed by Democratic Republic of Congo with 3,065 deaths, Somalia with 1,147, and Burkina Faso with 1,036. The menace of terrorism is stunting the growth of Africa, causing a range of problems. Kidnapping for ransom has increased as abductions of civilians, aid workers, and foreigners have become a lucrative source of income. As of 2023, South Africa had the highest kidnapping rate among the African countries. It had 9.57 kidnappings out of 100,000 inhabitants. Benin reported the second highest kidnapping rate. Nigeria is also seeing resurgence in mass abductions. Over 600 people, including at least 300 school children, have been kidnapped since the end of February. Smuggling, drug trafficking, and human trafficking is also prevalent in the region. An estimated 6.4 million individuals are enslaved in sub-Saharan Africa, making up 12% of the global enslaved population. 7 million individuals are enslaved in all of Africa, making up 14% of the total global enslaved population. There are far-reaching socio-economic impacts as well. Frequent attacks have destroyed infrastructure, including roads, schools, and hospitals, hindering the process of regional development. Adding to the collapsing infrastructure is the issue of the millions displaced straining local economies and resources.
It is believed that we cannot fight terrorism alone or while others are not participating. That is why the Commission proposed to the authority, through, of course, the Council of Ministers, that although countries might be under suspension, they should be allowed to take part in meetings relating to security as well as in sectoral meetings. So that is why we have invited all 15 member states to attend this important and crucial meeting.
All of this as governments struggle to maintain control in affected regions, leading to a loss of legitimacy and authority. The problems of African continent has long been ignored, including its harrowing issue of terrorism. Without a multifaceted approach, the cycle of violence and instability will continue.